Hey everybody, Nick Visick here with Smartrek Technologies, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Spidermesh and what makes Smartrek a little bit different and unique compared to everybody else. So let's rewind a little bit and talk about the birth of the Spidermesh. What happened was Martin Carrier was the owner of a maple syrup farm, and found out that's called a sugar bush. And he asked me, how do you make maple syrup? I said, you tap a hole in the tree, hang a bucket, and wait. And he said, well, a couple hundred years later, what we do now is they run vacuum hoses throughout the sugar bush. They put the hole in the tree, and then they tie a vacuum line into that hole, and they suck it, kind of like the oil industry, and very productive. And they basically, suck down all the syrup. Well, what they would do is they would put a vacuum sensor at the end of each line, so that way if there wasn't enough vacuum, they would realize that there was a hole somewhere in the line, so you have to go back and find where the hole is, patch it, and then production starts to increase once again. So that was really great and unique. But two things, if you don't know about trees, especially these pine trees, they love to absorb RF. They just love it, especially pine needles, because they're either quarter wavelength or 1/8 wavelength of 900 megahertz frequencies, which really means they like to suck in the flavor. So that was one of the problems. And number two was a lot of the wireless solutions that Martin was looking at was very high power. And last time I checked, I have 10 acres of trees, and not one of these come with an electrical plug to plug in stuff. So battery maintenance and RF issues and a lot of collisions cause a lot of problems with the current solutions that are out there. So what happened was Martin's brilliant brother-in-law, TL, and him, they came up with what I call the amazing Spidermesh. And the way Spidermesh works is different than everybody else in the sense that it's very structured. And if you'll play along with me, I'm going to tell you a series of lies, but they're all true, but in a different way they're not. So I want you to play with me on this game. When you were a little kid, you used to play this thing called, we'll just try it right now. In the swimming pool, I would say Marco, and you would say, you probably said Polo. That's usually how the game works, is Marco, Polo. Nobody says Polo until somebody says Marco, because they don't want to get caught. Even fish out of water, you still have to say Polo and get caught. So basically, Spidermesh, we have what's called a gateway, and that controls the entire network. And all the places where you collect your wireless data are the nodes. So basically, the gateway says Marco, and all the nodes say Polo. Okay, that's the very super basic version of it. That's not really what it is. It's more of a classroom teacher environment where the teacher gives a command and the classroom responds. So the teacher would say David, and the classroom would say here. Michael, here. Tommy, here. David, what's 2 plus 3? 5. Michael, how many gallons of water do you have? 2. So basically, that's how that structure works, but not necessarily. It's a little more advanced than that. What happens is, there's a rule that none of the students talk unless the teacher talks, and none of the students talk unless they're responding to an answer. But the classroom does one of two things. They repeat the teacher's command, or they repeat the student's answer. So the teacher would say, David, are you here? The whole classroom would repeat it. David, are you here? And David would say, yes, I am. The classroom would repeat, yes, I am. Teacher takes down the note. Mikey, are you here? Mikey, are you here? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Teacher writes down, yes, I am. So a little bit more than that. What happens is, imagine a classroom that's so big that not everybody can hear the teacher. So what happens is, the teacher would say, David, are you here? Those who hear it say, David, are you here? then the next wave of students would repeat it. David, are you here? David, are you here? David, are you here? David, are you here? Yes, I am. 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 So what happens is every repeat in that classroom is called a hop. And we use that in the Spidermesh is how many hops do you allow? And that means how many times is the code or the command going to repeat. So what happens is, let's just say maximum of 10 hops, and let's just say it's 1 second for a command in this example. This is a teacher classroom. Now, this is much faster in real life, but again, I'm trying to relate to you in a simpler way. So teacher says, David, are you here? David, are you here? David, are you here? And if David's at the very end, it'll take a whole 10 seconds to get there and a whole 10 seconds to get back. So the worst case scenario in that example is 20 seconds. So that means the teacher has to wait 20 seconds no matter where the student or node is in the network. So that's one of the brilliance of this, is that there is no collisions because everybody speaks only when spoken to and only repeats when they're supposed to. So what happens if, let's say, Mikey's in the front? Mikey, what's 2 plus 5? Mikey, what's 2 plus 5? Mikey, what's 2 plus 5? And that starts to ripple down the whole network. Well, if Mikey's in the front row, Mikey says 2 plus 5 is, or 2 plus 3 equals 5. He just says 5. Then the whole class ripples 5, 5, 5, 5. So the teacher might get the answer immediately, but the teacher still has to wait 20 seconds because the network has to settle down, because you can't have multiple commands, because if you do, you get collisions. When you get collisions, you don't get your data. And that's the brilliance of the Spidermesh. And that's why it's amazing. That's why I'm with this company, is because I believe in the technology. How, what we do is not unique. We collect data. We go and monitor things. Everybody does that. You can get a $10 module on Amazon that does that. It's not reliable. And that's what we are very proud of, is the reliability of our data, the guarantee that it'll go through if the network is set up properly. There are people that put things too far because it is radio. And that's about it. So, next time you're at the swimming pool and you hear kids go, Marco, Polo, think Spidermesh, think Smartrek, think the 8-track systems, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Feel free to give me a call, 281-235-0294. Be more than happy to do a demo for you and show how this works, and see how we can help you out with your system. All right, thank you. God bless you, and have a great rest of your life, because it shouldn't be for just a day.